Come in.
Hi, Sandy. I'm Atencio. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Well, first I just want to start by saying thank you for having this meeting. I really enjoyed talking to Bobby last weekend at the UGA game, and I'm excited that he was able to get this meeting set up. I'm really excited for everything that we're going to talk about and just learning a little bit more about Duluth Operating Group.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited to tell you more about us and just learn more about Salesforce.
Great. Well, before we start, I want to give you my business card. Please feel free to contact me at any time after this meeting if you have any more questions. And also, just to confirm, we have 20 minutes, right?
Yes, 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Well, great. So I brought an agenda for you, just to reference throughout this meeting, and I'd like to go over the agenda with you really quick.
Okay.
So first, after I spoke with Bobby last week, he told me a little bit about some of the issues y'all were having, but if it's all right with you, I want to ask a few more questions just to get a better understanding of the company and how Salesforce might be a good fit for your company.
Okay.
And then next, also, I would like to take a few notes throughout this meeting. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So next, I also want to do a quick demo of Salesforce, and just based off of what I learned from the questions, I can also show you specific ways that Salesforce could benefit your company.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Okay, and then finally, if you're interested, I'd like to talk to you about the cost of Salesforce and just what moving forward would potentially look like.
Yeah, great.
Great. Okay, so before we move forward, is there anything on this agenda that I didn't cover that you'd like to cover?
No, I think that pretty much covers everything.
Okay, perfect. And also, is there anyone else who would benefit from being in this meeting?
Right now it's just going to be me. Maybe later on down the road, if things work out between us, I'll have you speak with someone else, but for now it's just me.
Okay, perfect. So, let's get started then.
Okay, sounds good.
So, after I spoke with Bobby last weekend, I did a little bit of my own research, and I saw that y'all had a total revenue for 2017 of $48.6 million. Is that correct?
Yeah, we actually have seen an increase in revenue each year, so we're definitely proud of our growth and continuing to do that.
Well, congrats. That is awesome. I agree. So just based on my research, I also understand that your company offers total maintenance and cleanup of office buildings. Could you explain to me just a little bit about how the company is structured?
Yeah. So like you said, we offer total maintenance and cleaning for office buildings, one-story and multiple-story buildings.
Okay.
Right now, we have a sales team and a maintenance team. Basically, the sales team is responsible for selling our business to office buildings and really telling the story of what we do. And then our maintenance team is strictly in charge of the physical job and making sure that they are delivering results to our customers.
Okay. All right, that's definitely good to know. And also, I saw that your headquarters are here in Duluth, but y'all have branches in Augusta, Nashville, and Jacksonville, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, and do you have an even number of customers at each of those branches?
So our headquarters here in Duluth have the most customers.
Okay.
I believe we have around 105 customers.
Okay.
And then Augusta and Nashville have around 55 customers each, and then our Jacksonville branch has about 70 customers.
Okay, so if I'm doing my math right, then that's right at about 300 customer accounts over the 4 branches. And so how do you divide your staff across these 4 branches?
So in each branch, we have one branch manager for the sales team in that location, and then one branch manager for the maintenance team in each location.
Okay.
However, because we have more customers in our headquarters, each sales and maintenance team is a little bigger here in Duluth.
Okay.
I think right now we have 10 salespeople in Duluth and 32 maintenance people. And then in the rest of our branches, we have 5 salespeople and 15 maintenance people per team.
Okay. So based off of what you just told me, you're managing 4 different branches with a total of about 300 customers and about 100-ish employees across the 4 branches. Does that sound right?
Yeah. And based off of how we're already doing this year, I would expect those numbers to continue to grow.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, moving forward, Bobby mentioned that y'all are looking to overhaul your current account and client management system. Could you tell me a little bit more about the current system and how it works and just how you're managing all these accounts and people?
Yeah, so like I said, we have the sales team and the maintenance team in each office. the sales team is in charge of finding new customers and basically selling our business to them for the maintenance team to then take over.
Okay.
So we have one system that the salespeople use and one system that the maintenance people use, and then we have weekly meetings where the two teams meet to come together on the numbers for the week.
Okay, so wow, y'all really are using multiple systems.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to go system by system and just have you explain how they are working and just so I can get a better understanding. So let's start with the sales team.
Okay. So our sales managers at each branch kind of have the liberty to decide how they're going to track sales, accounts, and new customers.
Okay.
Our sales manager in the Duluth office sends out a list of potential customers at the beginning of every day for the salespeople to call and try to sell our business to.
Okay.
And then it really is up to them to communicate with each other which ones they have called. And they report back to our sales manager the activities that they've completed that day. And then the sales manager is in charge of tracking each person's activity and putting it all together in an Excel sheet.
Okay.
Also, each sales team from each branch, they meet once a month to go over what they've accomplished and their goals for the next month.
Okay, well, that seems like a really complicated process and a lot of work for your sales manager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know he is at the office really late each night, but we just pay him overtime so he can get everything done.
Okay, so you are paying him overtime.
Mm-hmm.
How much overtime would you say you're paying a manager each month?
Well, actually, I have our records right here, and it looks like the branch manager is making about $3,000 in overtime each month.
Okay, so $3,000 multiplied by the 4 managers, that's about $12,000 per month, times 12 months in a year.
Yeah.
So you're paying your managers about $144,000 in overtime per year.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's about the numbers. So now back to the salespeople. So how do you think they feel about the current system?
I mean, I've heard a lot of complaints from them, which is actually one of the reasons why we began looking for a new management system. Like I said, they are given a list each day of customers and are in charge of communicating with each other on a list each day of customers who are in charge of communicating with each other on who has been called and logging their own activities to report to the manager each day. Many have said it gets confusing who has already been called, and we often have multiple salespeople calling the same customer, which I have received complaints from a few customers about. Also, they spend a good portion of their day getting all of their activities that they completed organized, and there's often reporting errors that cause problems later on down the road. And I think our main concern is finding a system that makes this process easier for our salespeople to do.
Okay. Well, yeah, I agree that there probably is a more efficient way for tracking these accounts and potential customers. With the new system, I would also go out and say that salespeople could probably make more sales and lead to more customers for you if they are not spending so much time tracking themselves.
Yeah.
You also mentioned, though, that there was often an overlap in who the salespeople were calling, and often customers were being called twice. That's lost time for the salespeople who could be calling other customers.
Yeah.
How many hours per week do you think are lost due to this overlap?
I would say each salesperson loses about 3 hours a week.
Okay.
Just because once they call a customer that has already been called, they usually have to reach out to all of the other salespeople to notify them to not call this customer and also track this activity for themselves. So it's a really long process when this happens.
Right. Wow. So, 3 hours per salesperson multiplied by your 25 salespeople that you have. And then you have 4 weeks in a month. So that's about 300 hours per month that are lost that these salespeople could potentially use that time back to be making sales for your company.
Yeah.
I'll put that number aside for later.
Okay.
Okay, well, next let's start talking about the maintenance team. And tell me a little bit more about the current system they're using.
Yeah, so once again, our maintenance managers do a lot of work in tracking and keeping up with each job. They're in charge of making a list each day and delivering it to the maintenance people on what customers they'll be visiting each day.
Okay.
We try to keep the same maintenance team with the customer for a while just to allow them to build a relationship with the customer. But this often gets confusing for the manager just as they're in charge of a lot of customers and maintenance people.
Okay.
We even have had a few cases where the manager made an error and left a customer off of the daily lists for a while, and the customer ended up canceling business with us.
Really? Okay, so how many times would you say that's happened?
I think last year it happened to 4 customers.
Okay.
which we really can't blame the manager because I do understand that they're dealing with a lot of different moving parts.
Right. Okay, well, before we go on, what would you say the average revenue you get per customer?
I would say average about $150,000 per year.
Okay, so last year you said you lost 4 customers due to lack of efficient communication and them not getting a job done. So just doing the math real quick, that's a loss of about $600,000 in revenue.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I know we definitely want to try our best to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore.
I agree. Well, so would you say that it would be helpful to get helpful for your maintenance manager specifically to have a system that allows him to create schedules and update them in real time and also would be easily accessible to the maintenance team?
Yeah, I think that would definitely help solve a lot of the current problems we're having.
I agree. Okay, so now back to the maintenance team. You said the manager is in charge of compiling those daily lists. Does the sales team provide him with new customers and stuff like that?
Yeah, that kind of leads me to the next system we have. The sales and maintenance managers from each branch meet once a week.
Okay.
In this meeting, the sales manager updates the maintenance manager on any new customers they have for that week and updates them on any account changes that have happened. I've gotten to sit in through a few of these meetings, and they take hours just to get both managers caught up.
I could see how that would take a long time. How many hours would you average these meetings take a week?
Well, they meet every Friday, and they take about 4 hours, I want to say.
Oh, wow. Okay. 4 hours is a lot of time.
Yeah.
I definitely think that a more efficient system could make these numbers go down. And I totally understand that meetings are helpful, but a 4-hour meeting is half of your manager's 8-hour day, so this could definitely be decreased.
Yeah, and that's true. I would like to try and cut down these meetings too. Also, we have heard a few complaints from customers because the managers only meet once a week. And so if the salespeople sell to a customer on Friday, we often can't get a maintenance team out there for about 2 weeks because they have to wait for the meeting the next week.
Okay.
And this delay has been one of the top complaints we received from our customers.
Okay, and so what do you think would solve this problem of the delay you're having?
Well, like we talked about earlier, a system that updates in real time and cuts out the need for those weekly meetings for updating each team would be really useful.
I agree. Okay, well, I also remember you mentioning that each branch only meets with each other about once a month. Would you say that this adds a little separation within the company?
Yeah, and that's one of our main concerns just because you're right, our territories are very separated, and I think communication would be a lot smoother between them with a new system.
Right, well, okay. Well, now that I've gotten to know just a little bit more about the problems that you're having, I'd like to show you a quick demo of Salesforce and show you a few of the features that could potentially benefit you.
Okay.
If it's all right, can I come to that side of the table?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Let me get my computer. Okay. Okay, so while I'm showing you, I actually want you to do the clicking just so you get a hands-on experience and you're able to see how simple it is to use.
Okay.
But first, this is a demo account that I created. One of the great things about Salesforce is that it's 100% customizable. So as your company grows and continues to grow, if one of your team has a special request, then we can often work with you to create that feature.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'm showing you the manager view, and I think this is important to point out just with how your company is structured. There might be things that your managers need to see and they don't want to share with every other person. So there's customizable views for each staff member.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so this is the home page.
Okay.
And this is where you'll see different graphs and reports. And like I said, this is all customizable. So whatever the manager thinks would be most useful for each team to view, then they can put that right there on the dashboard.
Okay.
An example might be a graph that the sales manager can view that lists each salesperson, and they're actually able to see the activity level and sales level that in comparison to the other salespeople. So this would eliminate your sales manager from having to get those individual reports each day and then having to manually enter them into an Excel sheet. But yeah, so each member of your sales team and maintenance team, they're provided with their own login. So once they log in, any activity that they log or any action that they complete will be credited to their name. And like I said, this leads to your sales director being able to go on this dashboard tab right here. And as you can see, there's a record of each salesperson's activity and in real time too.
Okay.
Real time is another thing that I wanted to point out, that Salesforce is a cloud-based system, so they're able to update without you having to click update, and as soon as someone logs in, they're showing real-time and updated features.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay,
so next at the top, you can see the different teams for your company. So there would be a sales teams tab and then a maintenance team tab, which you can also find the different territories within each.
Okay.
And so all of your teams and territories are on the same platform.
That's
and
awesome.
like I said, it's completely customizable, so your manager can control who sees what from each view.
Yeah, that's great.
So let's start with the sales tab. Click on the sales tab right here.
Here?
Yeah. Okay. So here you can find all of your customer accounts, and I actually created a demo account for you to see. So search Atencio. Okay, so once you pull this up, you can find all the information for this customer. So what service they bought, and then right here under activities, you can find each activity that your salespeople have completed for this specific customer.
Okay.
So this would definitely eliminate the problem that you were having with salespeople calling the same customer multiple times.
Yeah.
They could see right here easily that someone's already called them.
Okay.
And this would also decrease that option of them wasting hours.
Gotcha.
So this actually leads me to my next thing. Click the log the activity button. Okay. And so here you can create customizable tasks in this drop-down menu, and the salespeople can quickly log the action as they complete it, and it'll show back up and go back to report to their manager.
Gotcha.
So as you can see, this was completed within a matter of seconds, and then your manager will run the report based off of this, and that cuts down all of the reporting time, all of the overtime that you were paying your manager, and the time that the salespeople were losing tracking themselves. So those 3 hours per week could be eliminated.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's move on to the maintenance team tab.
Okay.
Yes, right there. Perfect. Okay, so as new customers are entered in by your sales team, they'll actually be sent straight over to the maintenance team tab since it's all on one platform.
Okay.
And it updates in real time for the maintenance people to see changes in accounts or new customers that they will need to visit.
Okay.
Another great feature about Salesforce is that the whole platform is mobile friendly. So if the maintenance people are in the field and they have a smartphone, they can access all the features of Salesforce from a smartphone. So those daily lists that they were sending out can be updated in real time. They can check it right from their smartphone.
That's great.
And then finally, the last feature I wanted to show you, right up here in this top right corner, we have a chatter feature.
Okay.
So this would promote the communication between the teams. So those weekly meetings of 4 hours could definitely be cut down.
Yeah.
Because let's say your sales manager needs to ask your maintenance manager a question or let them know about a new account. With the chatter feature, they can type in the maintenance manager's name, send them a message, and when the maintenance manager logs in, that message will pop up right away.
Okay.
And that's within a matter of minutes. And it also is on your smartphone, too.
Okay.
Okay, so now that I've done the demo, would you be interested in just hearing about the cost of Salesforce?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Let me put this over here. Okay, so right now the cost of Salesforce is $85 per person, and so you're 129 employees. I think that's correct, right?
Yes.
Okay, so 129 employees at $85 per employee. Sorry, that's $11,000 per month, and then this provides each person with a login too.
Okay.
Plus, for the first month, we have an $18,000 installation fee.
Okay.
So your first month will be $29,000, and then after that, it will be $11,000 per month.
Okay. Yeah. $29,000 does seem kind of pricey.
Right. And we understand that. So I actually wanted to show you, I've kept track of the numbers that we've talked about throughout the meeting, and I wanted to show you just how those numbers compare to the price of Salesforce.
Okay.
So your sales managers, you are paying them $144,000 per year in overtime. Then you had wasted time with your salespeople, and we found about 300 hours per month, that's 3,600 hours per year.
Okay.
And then finally, those lost customers that you have because of lack of communication in your maintenance team, and that was leading to about $600,000 in lost revenue for the year. So also a few stats that I wanted to share with you. I actually have sold Salesforce to companies that are about your size, and we've come up with these stats that I'd like to share. So we've seen that salespeople who use Salesforce are about 34% more efficient, and that leads to about 24% more revenue for the company. So just in your specific terms, with your $49 million in revenue, 24% more would be $11 million that you're missing out on. And then adding back that $600,000 from the lost customers and the $144,000 for overtime, you're missing out on about $12 million more in revenue.
Wow.
So those numbers compared to the cost of Salesforce, what are you thinking now?
Yeah, I mean, like, when you compare that $12 million to just $29,000, I mean, the $29,000 really does seem doable. That may be something that we're definitely interested in.
Okay. And so you mentioned earlier that maybe we can meet with other people within the department to, would you be interested in that?
Yeah, I'd love to set up a meeting so you could meet with our head of IT and just kind of give them a quick demo and tell them basically what you told me today, just to show them. Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome. So does Tuesday, about this time next Tuesday work? Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, perfect. Well, I've enjoyed this meeting and learning more about you, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, thanks for everything. Of course.